Hello everyone! How are you all today? I'm on the very last cuppa from my pot today. You know, I'm making my coffee with percolator these days, and it is so delicious. So I'm allowing myself to have one last cup. It's almost 10:30 in the morning. So if I stop drinking coffee by 10:30 in the morning, that's a good thing. Terry will testify to that. Anyway, I have so many things to say. Number one, I love you all so much for your sweet, sweet comments. And I just want to say that the issue I mentioned has been resolved in a lovely, sweet, heartwarming way. And I'm all better now, and I've quit worrying about what jumped out of my mouth that shouldn't have. At least in that instance. I'll tell you. And in that person's defense, it's not the first time somebody said that to me. I've had it said to me many, many times. So obviously it must be true to some extent. But it is never, never my intent to hurt anyone's feelings, as I said yesterday. So anyway, thank all of you. You make me feel so good. And you're the reason I keep on smiling, other than my Lord, of course, and my husband, and my friends. So anyway, I have new tools to show you guys. You girls that are learning how to sew, you will be surprised maybe to find out that a really good place to go to get tools for sewing is a hardware store. Here we have Lowe's, we have Home Depot. Probably everybody has Home Depot. I don't know about you people in Canada and UK and the other places, but here we have what's called Home Depot. And we also have, which is my favorite hardware store, a place called Ace Hardware. But I'm going to show you some tools that you can use when you are making your own patterns. And you all know I use SureFit Designs. Let me see. Hold on, hope I don't spill my coffee. I'm reaching across the table. This is what I'm using right now. It's my SureFit Designs dress kit. All of the blouses that you see me make, the blouse I'm wearing right now, and the ones that you see me try to copy, I make them with this kit right here, the dress kit, okay? Love it, love it, love it. In fact, my papers, these are called the Masters, and mine are so worn out that I've had to tape them. I've had to tape all the places where there's the fold. They've got holes in them. They've got marks all over them. And so I contacted Glenda several months ago and I said, oh, I need to buy some new master sheets because mine are so messed up. So she sent me some brand spanking new ones. Well, they're so pretty, I won't use them because I don't want to mess them up. So I have them like locked in a safe. Not really, they're in here. But I figure if these first ones just completely disintegrate and fall apart, well, then I'll go to the new ones that I ordered from Glenda. I also ordered a new stylus. Where's my stylus? I used it yesterday. What did I do with it? Oh, heaven only knows. Oh, it's over there. But the stylus gets the same way. But if you follow SureFit Designs, you probably got the email from Glenda where she showed everybody that you can clean the stylus, which, how cool is that? I haven't tried to clean mine yet, but I might do it after a while. So anyway, y'all are so sick by now of hearing about this blouse. I want a copy. Let me see where my copy is. Gosh, get this stuff ready before I get on here, huh? Here's my hand-drawn version of it. I drew this last night trying to figure out what to do with the dart. And you can see here I've drawn a French dart. And I don't know if that's the way I'm going to do it or not. But after I drew this picture, I was watching Louie's cutting classes last night, which are wonderful. And after I watched that, I got an email about the new Vogue patterns. And so I always click on those. I probably have one Vogue pattern in my hundreds of patterns. I don't really care for Vogue that much, and actually I don't even like this one. I don't like the neckline on it. But look at what it is. Look at what it is. See, and the thing about this is, it's a pattern. The picture that I keep showing you of the girl with the different sleeves and the different piece underneath, That is just a copy of a blouse that Belk sells. Like if you were looking at JCPenney's or something, and I just copied that blouse because I really liked it. So I don't have any line drawings. And I'm just having to guess at how you make it. And my first guess was way off. You guys saw the yellow blouse with the giant leaves on the front. So this, I copied the back and the front and the most wonderful line drawings of it. So I feel like I'm really on my way now to getting this style made. I wanted to contact Glenda and ask her something, but Glenda's kind of tired of all of my style changes. She says I'm like getting off into the wilderness there and things that she really doesn't teach with her sure-fit designs. So I didn't really want to bother her about it, but I'm thinking that this is kind of a princess seam style. But the princess seam isn't anywhere near this lady's bust. So I'm thinking, I'm getting ready to draw it out, and I'm thinking that what I can do is I can put part of the dart in the front piece and then fold the rest of the dart out of that side piece. And then the side piece won't have any side seams this time. So I'm going to try it. And so let me show you what I've spent the morning doing. You know I don't have any sergers here. I took all my sergers to get them serviced, so I can't really sew. And we're supposed to go home this morning, but when you're on my husband's time, dates and times and appointments don't mean anything when it comes to me. Woke up this morning, first thing he found out was he had computer problems at our store here, so he's been on the phone all morning trying to straighten that out. And so then I just went out there a while ago and I said, well, I'm ready to go. And he said, well, I'm not in any rush. I said, well, you were in a rush the other day when you said we were not staying past Wednesday morning. What happened? He said, well, I'm already working. I might as well stay here and work. So I have a day. So I decided that I was going to try to invent an organization. Some of you have said, teach us how you do organization. And that is one of my gifts. It is. And it's a lovely gift, and I'm glad I have it. The sad thing is, y'all know, did I ever tell you about personalities? With every personality, pick a number, any number, 5, 10, 15. With any personality, there's 10 good things, 10 bad things. Because the 10 good things that you have create other issues in your personality, okay? For instance, I'm very, very organized. My mother says I organize my crib. And so when I'm someplace where things aren't organized, it drives me crazy. I mean, if I'm at your house and I see something on the table and it's like hanging off the edge and about to fall off, I won't touch it if you're in the room. But if the minute you leave the room, I go, oh, I'm going to straighten that up and get it off the table and put it in the right place. I know, it's terrible. So that's on the bad side. On the good side, I'm very good at organization. So anyhow, I want to show you what I did. I have this bad habit. This is about sure-fit designs, you guys. I have this bad habit of taking the time to draw out a blueprint of a brand new front with my brand new measurements and a brand new back with my brand new measurements. And then I have even drawn copies of it before. But then I'll draw up the copy and screw it up and I'll think, oh my gosh, I wish I had another copy, so I'll just go grab the blueprint and start slicing it up. So I've made so many blueprints, that's why my master's so messed up and has all those holes in it. I use it over and over and over and over. So I'm going to show you my new tools, a hammer and a screwdriver. How about that? And how cute is this screwdriver? Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a sneeze break. Anyway, I love gadgets. And my husband always gets mad at me when I'm at the hardware store and I'll see a thing like this. See this little screwdriver, and it's like a pen. It's got the little hooky thing on it. If you unscrew the top, all these little screwdriver tips come out. And then you can just pick the one you want and stick it in the end. So, it's a girl gadget. You ever said, that's ridiculous, that's not going to work on anything, you don't need that. Well, I want to tell you a use I found for it today that is so cool. I needed to have an awl, an AWL. And it's something that you can put a hole, like in leather, a little tiny bitty hole like a belt loop hole, and you hit it real hard and it puts a hole in stuff. Well, I don't have one of those here, and I wanted some way, I'll show you in a minute what I was doing with it, I wanted some way to make a hole in some paper. And so I was going through all my drawers looking for an awl, and I found this. And so I thought, hey, I bet that has one of those pointy screwdriver tips, and it does. And I thought I can just put that in the end, and I can go get a hammer, and I can hammer a hole in the paper. But my lightning fast mind, and thank God, in this instance, it actually clicked in before I ruined my table. I have these cutting mats on this table, and if I took this and hit it with a hammer right on my cutting mat, it would have ruined the cutting mat, and I would have had divots all over it. So, another thing I do is when things come with pieces of cardboard, you can see I've cut a little piece out of that one. These are just pieces of cardboard that came in something. I don't know what they came in. I mean, it could have been underwear, it could have been a t-shirt, it could have been anything. So I saved it, and I thought, you know what, I bet I could use those someday. So I put 4 of them together, and I put it underneath my paper, on top of my cutting mat, and then I took my screwdriver and my hammer and whacked it. And so it went through the cardboard. That also helped it go through my 3 sheets of paper, and it didn't get down to my table. So try it, guys. It works really good. So you're going, what the heck is she talking about? What'd she do with it? I'll show you what I did with it. I made a brand new blueprint right here. This is the blueprint of the front. And I took pictures of this, still pictures of this, and I'll put them on my blog today. So I labeled this blueprint. Blueprint, blueprint. I should write on there, do not cut. But I'm putting it separate in a separate file, and hopefully I will not accidentally cut it. I made a woven blueprint of my back. And so then what I did was I went and I got my roll of paper, and I rolled out 3 pieces big enough. I could have done 6 pieces, but I figured 3 would last me a while. I cut out 3 pieces big enough to cover this blueprint of my front in this case. Okay? Then I took the 3 pieces of paper, and I took a stapler, and I stapled the 3 pieces of paper at all the 4 corners, lined them up so the edges were straight, stapled them together so they wouldn't move. Then I laid them on the table, and I put my blueprint on top. So here's the thing. Every time I've done this before, I have not been able to figure out how to mark the bust dart and the waist dart and the straight of grain line. And I thought I need a way to mark that, all 3 copies at the same time. Hence, the cardboard screwdriver hammer. See? So, I marked the point of the bust dart, these 3 dots over here, this point, this point, this point, this point, and center front, I knew that was 1 3/4 inch, and I marked the waistline. And so when I hammered it, it went through all the copies. And so then, when I got all the copies made, I took off the original, and I put the copies down, and I put the cardboard back underneath the holes, and now there's a hole through all of them, okay? Because I already tried this before. I started out trying to use the Sharpie and see if it would go through all 3 copies. It would if I didn't want it to, of course. But since I wanted to go through all 3 copies, it would only go through the first one. So once the holes were in, and I put the Sharpie in, it easily went through all the copies. So I was able to mark all those dots. Then I just took my ruler and joined them up. So let me show you one of my copies. Whew, it's getting hot in here under these lights, you guys. That's the back. The back, here's the front. So here is one of the copies, and you can see how I have traced over all the holes, dot to dot, and drawn the darts on. And I have also marked it, what the measurements were, what the date of the blueprint was, and called it a copy. Okay? Now, I thought, okay, how am I going to keep track of these? Where am I going to put them? And I didn't have any big envelopes here. when I went to look for them, all I had was file folders. So I decided to use file folders. And I think I'll keep them in the file folders because that keeps it separate from all my patterns. Since these aren't really finished patterns, they're to start with to make the pattern, I think I'm going to keep them separate and just put them in the front of my box. Okay? So I labeled one of them, woven blueprint, the date and the sizes, and woven copies. And I'm going to keep them right with each other. So I will know these copies go with that blueprint. So anyway, an idea. And then here is my pattern that I'm going to try to copy. So I'll take out one front and one back and I'll chop it all up. And I'm going to turn it into this, only it's going to be a blouse instead of a dress. Okay? And I think that's all I have to tell you guys. I'm still in the fast internet house, so I'll get this uploaded lickety-split. And you guys can see it if you're interested. So, bye for now.